We're gonna jump into our first question. It's actually, if you watched us last week, we were answering a pretty involved question with a very young puppy, 14-week-old Goldendoodle by Kate, and severe snarling, biting, frustration on the leash. Now, I know some of you were like, 14-week-old puppy, how is that possible? Just give that poor puppy some food. It's very possible, that level of intensity. It's so possible that she sent us a video to prove it, and it is quite intense. It looks like a 6, 7, 8-month-old dog behaving that way with a lot of attitude.
Very pushy.
Very pushy, very frustrated, rather than a 14-week-old puppy. But the fact that it's, well, 15, 16 weeks now, the fact that it's that age does factor into our advice. We got cut off last week, but I wanted to let you know, Kate, if you watch the replay, all of the audio has been added back into it because our boss, she saves it and it, I don't know, it's magically on there. Yeah. So if you go to the IG, it's not TV anymore, IG videos, and you look at that for your question, you'll be able to see the full audio. But anyway, because she sent us a video, I thought we'd go ahead and readdress it. Oh, she's snuggling. So cute. We'd go ahead and readdress it. So I can spoil other people's dogs, and I'm not training this dog right now. So.
I'm gonna tell her mom. Bethany and point her out.
So just to be super clear, on leash outside, going nuts, snarling, jumping, biting the leash. She gets lots of exercise. You know, what do I do? And the video is very intense. It's a very upset, frustrated dog. So I don't want to rehash all the things that we went over last week. So if you're really curious about this question, if you're having issues with a dog under 6 months old at home, you know, please refer back to last week's video. This is what I will say. If you're taking your puppy out on harness, maybe get a slip leash instead. We like Mendota. I don't want you to walk your puppy on a slip leash. I would say just start with all your basic work indoors on slip leash with food work to build up, you know, that association. And you're gonna do this kind of as a safety thing when you go out to potty, where this severe biting and jumping and snarling happens. So you're gonna take them out on slip leash. I saw in the video, Kate, that you were doing your Be a Tree.
Looked spectacular.
Looked really good, and that combination of Be a Tree and food work will snap 80, 90%, maybe not 90% of puppies, but they'll snap a lot of puppies out of it because they'll really start to see you as a food resource and communicating with them instead of fighting against them. And so that's really important. I don't totally remember what we talked about last week, but I do want to tell everybody out there, if there's ever any relationship issues like this, whether the relationship is with you or with the leash, whatever it might be, you need to do our relationship game. And if you would like to check out our online program on thepuppyacademy.com in order to see those steps,
really snuck that one in
please,
there, huh?
Oh, it was sneaky. Please do. But anyway, just a quick recap is, your dog only eats from your, if you're having this severe problems, your dog only eats from your hand for 2 weeks. And honestly, if you get a new puppy, you really want to do that anyway. I don't like to be that hard on folks because I know people have a job and kids, but it's like, yeah, spend 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be one piece of food at a time. It can be puppy come, a handful of food, and then puppy come several steps back, and then puppy come and handle the head a little bit, and then puppy come, good, eats up kibble, kind of grab the collar a little bit, good. Puppy come, handful of food. He's like, what is that?
We're counter conditioning the behaviors we don't like with the behaviors we do like.
Yeah, it's relationships. So you're counter conditioning touch. And then when that's good, if your puppy doesn't care about the collar being handled and stuff, then you just drop the food on the ground and give more distance and work on come and shooting over to you for food. Come, sit, break is like the final
That looked like a
step
dog that really enjoyed working and wanting food. So
yes.
I don't think you have an issue. Can I mention something though? So if the dog is jumping up on you while you're doing all of this, it's counter, I can't
counterintuitive.
Boom. To what you're looking for. So we're not rewarding the dog jumping all over, food, come, woo! It's actually more calm. It's maybe lower hand to the ground. So the dog doesn't jump. Yeah, it is a bit of a backbreaker. There's even been times where if I can't do that bend, I'll kneel on the ground and just do it back and forth. Come good, come good, come good. Almost even away from my body, so there's nothing for the dog to jump on. They can't jump on me. There's nothing behind my arm except for the arm itself. They're still jumping up at the hand Go even lower. Maybe move it a little bit slower. So, sorry,
Yep.
they can't see my hand, but
move
maybe
it
move it a little bit
slower
slower.
and
So
add a sit.
they're tracking the hand. Sit, good, treat. You like that? See what I did there?
Yes, great. Everybody knows exactly what you're talking about.
Rosie, you did so good. We're so proud of you.
Anyway, the reason I'm honing in on this and not even directly addressing your jumping issue is because dogs that don't have an adult brain, which is under 1.5, 2 years old, they need so much context and guidance and relationship work and help. You cannot just suppress something and expect them to figure it out. An adult dog, a lot of trainers get away with only doing suppression because it's an adult mind and they can problem solve better, but not puppies. So that's why we're really honing in on this. It's so important. Okay, anyway, moving on. That needs to be daily. So your puppy, at the very beginning of the freak out, I need you to take that slip leash and I need you to do pressure out and away from you, freeze, maybe take one step in, but your arm stays straight. So you don't take a step in towards the dog like this. Your arm stays straight and you step in. Usually this is fine on harness, but Sparky and I have seen the video of this Goldendoodle and it's very severe. You know, snarling is, it's no sound and we could see the snarling from a distance. So it's please keep that in mind, everybody. This is very severe. But I recently had a 5-month-old golden retriever that was just biting so severely. So people are dealing with this. So anyway, your arm stays straight and you only need one arm. You don't need to double hand it. But anyway, it's pressure up and you can move in maybe one step to the dog, but your arm stays straight. Now here's the key. Nobody knows how firm to be. Nobody knows, how to do it. And so this is the advice I would give a very young dog like this, or an owner with a very young dog like this, is you never want the feet to leave the ground. That's really critical. It is pressure, it is tension on the leash in the purest form. And so what I mean by that is I'm not pulling, I'm just holding tension, okay? So I'm not pulling hard, it's just tension.
It's taut but not tight.
It's taut but not tight. So I think I screwed it up. That was for you. Okay, no, I got it. All right, I'm good.
Ricky's gonna come after you.
I know. So anyway, that's critical. And then you'll know if you didn't hold it long enough. For most people, I usually say hold it an extra second longer than you think you need to, because most people drop it fast and then they go right back, or you take a step and they go right back. You gotta mean it. There's some energy in this too. It's like, stop doing this to me. Good. 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 Take a step. So this is very slow, but the key is the feet don't leave the ground. Now, when the dog is jumping up like crazy, there might be like an initial, because they're already off the ground. But you make sure that when your dog settles, they're like, whoa, what is this new thing? That there is a pause, and then you check the pause and make sure they're on the ground. And then that mixed with the food work, mixed with stopping at thresholds, other types of impulse control, hopefully will all start to work nicely together and give you what you need.
I'm gonna add something.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm glad you're putting in my cord because I was gonna add it either way. 14-week-old puppy. So I'm gonna make an assumption.
Yeah, go ahead.
I could be wrong, it could be right, but you may be giving a little too much affection to this puppy as well. So there needs to be a balance. I'm a numbers guy. So I say a 4-to-1 balance. If I'm gonna do 5 minutes affection.
For people struggling.
Yes, for people struggling. Anyone though should still be a 2-to-1 balance. But people struggling.
Because we're mean.
I'm a numbers guy. 4-to-1 mean if I give 5 minutes of affection, I'm doing 20 minutes of training. 10 minutes before, 5 minutes of affection, 10 minutes after.
And this isn't like, come and sit, yay, good job.
Come.
No, this is come,
Good.
sit, good. Here's your payment.
Very
Dog,
good.
come, place, sit, good. It's you're the trainer. You're the trainer.
And I'm going to advise, if you are still struggling with all this, with all the relationship building techniques and the food work, try minimizing affection for just 1 week.
Dramatically.
Yeah, dramatically minimize it.
Yeah.
And let's know how it goes. We'll see you next week for that one.
And please, anybody seeing this, also jump back to our episode last week. There's always timestamps in the bottom for this stuff. and you'll be able to see all the other good stuff that we gave.
Follow-up question.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Let's hear it.
She is almost perfect other than those outbursts in our backyard. We're very structured in every other way too.
I believe you. I believe you, Kate, but I will say this. Nothing lives in a vacuum. And what I mean by that is, I bet if you had a professional come to your home, they could see these tiny pushy moments loading throughout the day. I don't really want to get into that because I think we've given you enough information. But it's like, I'm not trying to be mean, but are you working on leash in the house? Is she great on leash in the house? Can she sit and stay, wait for her food bowl for permission, wait to come out of crate? Is she actually calming down? There's a lot of little key elements that tend to build up. Or is she just really overstimulated outside, and all the great work you're doing inside, you need to do outside as well, and not skip that and think the backyard's just for potties. Too much play also creates this. We actually just worked with a Goldendoodle, even younger than this one, that's had
3-4 months
too much play and is just out of control, zoomies, biting, wild every time they step outside. It used to be in the house and they got control over it, but now it's outside. So anyway, I'm not trying to pick on you, Kate. I'm just saying that try to find the little moments through the day to start challenging her more. So when you do go outside, you'll have more leverage when you try to settle her down. Okay. So Daisy May, 1-year-old, multi-Australian Labradoodle. Okay.
Multi-generation Australian Labradoodle.
I skipped that because I don't understand it. Okay, so how to get the stop demand barking? Say no. Okay, no. I had a lot of paperwork.
We're gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, that's it. That's your answer. Say no. I had a lot of paperwork to do with my bank accounts. I didn't have time to play with her. Frozen treats only last so long. I'm so glad you put that, Daisy May, because I just talked about that. You probably are playing too much. It's probably too high drive, too exciting during the day, and you need to do calmer, more controlled obedience work and impulse control work.
Sounds like that puppy's a little overstimulated too. Not just what Bethany's saying, but maybe cranky, overtired. Are you doing a crate structure? Are you doing a structure schedule? Or do you want to?
Yeah.
She's actually very calm, so don't accept it.
It is 1-year-old.
Yeah, 1-year-old. Sorry, yeah.
Well, even a
1-year-old.
1-year-old. I'm still doing a structure schedule with my 1-year-old, especially when I'm getting a lot of demand barking, and have a balance. Work and play, training, some supervised separation, whether it's putting them in a playpen, 1-year-old probably not, but even like tethering to something, like tethering to an area, being able to watch it from 10, 15 feet away or 5 feet away.
Make sure they know how to do place, teach your dog place.
Super valuable. You can see our other videos where we explain that. Even our Instagram where you'll see a couple different examples of that happening. Yeah, I mean, you just got to find a different way of teaching your puppy how to get your attention. It's not through barking. You know how they get your attention? They don't. They wait for it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. All right. The toothbrushing video question.
So we had a video of the toothbrush. It was with our last dog last week.
One person. So that video is up, tips on toothbrushing. If you're one person, I like to teach place, or my puppy is really relaxed with me. I've done a lot of handling and they're really relaxed with me holding. You got a few options. You can go like around the chest hold, not the throat, the chest, have a firm grip and stick your fingers right in there. Massage, 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 massage. Good food. And you mix all that up. The other way that I like to do it is, I don't know what this puppy's been conditioned for, but I like to condition my dogs to be really comfortable on their backs.
Definitely not conditioned for that yet.
And do belly rubs and just make this super positive. And then eventually I'll have the toothbrush and let them I've got the toothpaste on it, I'll let them chew on it and then do a few brushes. Or I could just, she likes this, I'm rubbing her gums. And she see how much better she was with this? She likes it. So anyway, you just decide what you want to do. You want to manhandle them a bit more like a vet, or really take a bit more time and get them conditioned to be in a certain position to make it positive. As my dogs have gotten older, I have them jump on my bed, I put a towel out, they know like the tooth basket at this point, and I scrape my dog's teeth, but they lay down flat and I rub their belly and I work my way up to there. I still do it just to keep it positive because I don't use food anymore. Lift the jowls and scrape away. So anyway, that's what I would suggest that you start doing. You want to move on? You got something to add to that?
No,
AJ,
that's good.
AJ's next.
Okay, AJ. Do you have any recommendations for getting a Shih Tzu to walk? Our dog stops every 2 seconds and doesn't like walking, only running after toys. Thank you.
We don't have age. We don't have age, so we're gonna assume, AJ, that it's under 6 months old. Try to age is like the most important thing when we give advice,
especially for walking.
So
AJ has an older pup over, I think, 2 years, around 2 years.
How do you
Do you
know?
just know all your followers?
I know AJ.
Oh, she knows AJ. There we go. So you said over 2 years old?
I think it's over 2 years.
Over 2 years old. You could try slip leash food, slip leash pressure food. I don't love slip leashes for dogs with the big eyes or short noses, but you could try it. The big thing is you need to do what you want to do outside, inside first. Like you need to walk around with a leash and food in your house.
And you need to start working for your meals.
Yeah.
There's no free meals. It's all to move, good treat, move, good treat.
Yep.
And I'll be honest, I've gotten rotisserie chickens from Vaughn's. Shredded them into really, really small pieces.
To get over the hump.
Yeah, thank you. To get over the hump. I actually just had a session with a client where I literally had to bring my own chicken.
Yeah.
I went to the store, bought one. Took me 5 minutes, brought it over, and I got the dog over the hump, and I got the owners walking with their dog by the end.
Yep.
They had the same situation, except they weren't even getting 2 steps.
I tell you what, Shih Tzus can be stubborn though. They can be
It was a Shih Tzu.
stubborn little buggers.
Mine was a Shih Tzu. It was horribly stubborn.
But start inside and then backyard and front yard or garage or what you know, whatever it might be. You need to work in different rooms of the house. That's how you really build that habit up. Then just try in front of your house. You just go back and forth. Then it's your house and the 2 houses or apartment buildings next to you. Also, getting in your car and going to the park.
I was just about to say, yep.
At least once or twice a week is really useful. Really useful.
I also know a lot of dogs that won't leave the property. They just want to walk in front of the sidewalk, but they won't leave. The dog that I worked over the weekend wouldn't even leave the front yard. It would walk in the driveway, walk in the yard itself, but it wouldn't walk on the sidewalk. I literally picked the dog up, walked 15 houses away, and just literally taught it how to walk, walking back to the house. Couldn't even leave again. I had to pick it up, walk 10 houses down, and I did that over and over and over again until the dog knew how to heel, and then I slowly built up to walking away from the house. That's where the chicken came in.
It's a mental block. So for us, I think I can speak for Sparky too. For us, it's a combination of building up good habits with food and repetition, and then with a dog that's 2 years old or older, there's an element of, you're gonna do this because I'm the human and I said follow me and I've put the work in and I've put the muscle memory in and I've put the food work in and you're gonna do this. Let's go. I mean it. No, move it. Let's go. Now don't get me wrong, occasionally that type of attitude with your own dog, with a trainer, it'll work every time because we don't have a relationship with your dog. But sometimes with when you're trying to do that with your own dog, it doesn't go as smoothly and they really will put on the brakes. And that's okay. Switch directions suddenly. Like get creative. I'm not saying, she says she doesn't like my energy when I was all leadership. Like, so I will say that we won't drag a dog or anything if they're that resistant. But you do kind of need to, I don't want to say manifest it because I actually kind of hate that word, but I want you to manifest it in your mind. I want you to see what you need to do. But no, there is a little bit of that. There's a little bit of, you're doing this, let's go. And they're like, oh God, you're serious. Okay, we'll follow. You know, and then if you really still get a lot of resistance, you have to be more creative and do more food, muscle, memory, repetition. But please don't go out later today. This goes for all of you, no matter what age your dog is. Don't take that part of the advice and go for a walk and be like, you're gonna do this, let's go. Because you, not like you, AJ, but the general sense of population. Probably don't have the relationship with your dog yet of like, follow me, good food. Follow me a few steps, good food. Turn, good food. Like you need to create that for a few days or even a few weeks first. All right.
That's it. We have no more questions. Wait, I want to mention it just while we have time. So we've been holding this dog for 22 minutes. We've had her in this room with us. Took her out of her crate, fully well rested. And there's been a couple little moments where she started teething on me. And it's gotten progressively a little bit stronger. The energy's kicking up a bit. So I want to mention something. Because even 20, 30 seconds ago, I was holding her. And she nipped my finger pretty strongly. So I went from doing this sweet love and like doing the deep massage in the pet center. I'm like, hey, no, we're right here. Cool it. Settle down. And now we're in business mode. So I went from calmly petting giving the energy, maybe feeding into it, to hey, settle down. And I'm in business mode. And when I get that moment where she does finally settle, I'm not going to reward her by putting her down or putting her back in the crate for the whining and nipping. I'm going to make her settle. I'm going to wait her out. And when she does, that's when I'm going to hand her to Ricky. Ricky's going to put her in the crate. Because I'm not going to feed in that. I'm not going to reward the biting me and then her teaching me when she's done being pet. Hey.
Because petting is stimulation, so the dogs will get really mouthy. And you should stop petting, but you shouldn't just be like, oh, let me just put them away. It's like have an energy shift and try to help them understand what you want them to do. It's like teaching a baby to self-soothe. You don't just leave the room and let them scream bloody murder. You hang out with them. Yep. And let them get like realize that you're not going to go anywhere, but you're also not going to like hold them forever. And so it's like this in between. You want to make sure you don't get rid of these phases. I want a baby trip since I saw my little niece. So.
I love it. I'm actually going to give her up now because I think she almost peed on me. So I think she has to pee. Can we give her something to take her out for a bite?
She was like, I was trying to tell you.
TikTok, what do you think is a good first dog to get?
It depends on your experience level.
What kind of? Also your family.
First dog to get. So I'm going to assume you mean. Let's assume you mean first time owner.
Ever, first time ever dog to get.
Goldfish.
Stop it. Did it say pet or breed? Did they say pet?
No, breed. Let's stick with breed. We do dogs.
I agree. Goldfish
get a
if
cat.
it's pet. Don't get a cat. Cats train you. You don't train cats. Okay. Going off of my vast knowledge of experience of working with puppies, I would say if you're an active family, get a golden retriever or a lab. They're smart dogs. They like to train, but they have a lot of energy. So expect to reinforce a lot of structure. I think the easiest dogs I've ever trained is Cavalier King Charles.
Cavalier King Charles.
Easiest dogs.
If you, they don't have these at rescues, and if you're going the breeder route, a duck tolling retriever. It's basically a smaller golden retriever.
She gave me an exotic breed.
It's not exotic. Goldens are crazy.
They are, but they're great family dogs.
Do you really want to like go in the first 2 years of a golden retriever?
I got 6 minutes. Get some.
First 2 years of a golden retriever can be very, very challenging. Get a smaller duck tolling retriever.
Not if you call Puppy Academy and our online school.
Small dog. I'm with him. King Charles Cavalier Spaniel. If you're not active and you just want to do a little bit of training, get a pug. And I think we can leave it at that. I just said if they're not active and they just want to do a little bit of like basic training, get a pug. Yes, a pug. What was that face?
Okay, so I guess I'm a little bit biased.
We're gonna get pug letters. Oh my gosh.
I'm biased because every pug we've had in the last 6 months has been a nutcase. Crazy high energy.
They can be.
Loves training.
They can be.
Crazy. You think the golden retrievers are crazy?
But it's
the
small.
pugs have been crazy.
And
Yes, they are small.
They can't breathe, so they only have a certain period of time, and then they go and they nap. It's easier.
But to be fair, we are a training facility, so people don't bring us well-trained dogs.
Yeah, we don't get the well-trained
We get the dogs that are crazy that need training. So, all right. A little bit biased.
Anyway. Well, okay, I've got, Emily says, what do you do when my 10-month-old won't stop chasing leaves on our walks? It's a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel.
Stop it.
Stop it. It is from Emily.
I love it.
Emily, so it's because you got a bird dog. So you got one of the mildest bird dogs around, but it's a bird dog. And so the leaves, running around, even at 10 months old, blowing around, it's like chasing a bird. And so you need to get critter control underway. So you need to practice turns off of that. And a 10-month-old, you can teach a valuable no. But don't just tell your dog what not to do. Make sure they also know what to do. So if you're not practicing, back up, recalling away from something blowing in the wind.
Recall is come is recall.
Yeah, so it's like I can be on a walk on a 6-foot leash and we see a dog go by and I'm like, puppy, come, good. Sit, good. Turn, walk a few steps. Turn, walk a few steps in the direction I was walking. Don't just try to work off of the hardest things, which is birds and leaves blowing by. Practice with all the small things. A neighbor making a noise, someone pulling into their driveway, a dog walking by. You need to rock back or turn and move, whatever works best for your dog, to get them to be like, oh, what did you say? To build that muscle memory of, when I hear something, I look at mom. When I hear something, we're going to move. Before you can do the more challenging ones.
Build a strong food lure in your home with kibble and maybe low reward treats, or not low quality, but like low, whatever, I can't think of the right word. But then when you go outside, get high reward treats. It was a reward. High reward outside, low reward inside, or kibble. We prefer kibble inside anyways. And then start building up that drive. So when you say dog's name come, they're like, food? They're instantly looking at you and they're focused. You can even take the meal. Take them for the walk, don't feed them a meal, get them home, and then feed them their meal. So you're basically working for a portion of it on your walk. I like that too.
There we go.
One of my favorites.
All right, let's see. Dun dun dun. Goldendoodle, cute but psycho. That sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Goldendoodle though.
Said my Goldendoodle, cute but psycho.
So actually, Goldendoodles 50 years ago were bred to be service animals, but they've been kind of in the breeding world for so long that they've been bred more to be family dogs, which family dogs need high energy to keep up with large families, and that's why a lot of people see some of the more, I guess I'm gonna use just you typed it, psycho Goldendoodles.
You said it. We didn't say it. We didn't say it. You said it.
Half our clientele is Goldendoodles, but we see a lot of energy out of those Goldendoodles because they're bred to keep up with the family. But just a little back history. They're actually bred to be one of the first service animals.
Yeah.
Got a TikTok question?
Sure. One more.
How do I get my puppy to stop barking when I leave the kitchen?
Huh? Where's is the dog in the kitchen?
When the puppy is left in the kitchen.
So the puppy's in the kitchen and you leave the kitchen. We do crate. So that sounds to me like a playpen situation, and it's sectioned off area. The thing is, a lot of times, I saw how you looked at me in the thing. I saw how you did that. So he's all about the playpen, and I'm all about we'll see, because there's a lot of puppies that they're overstimulated in a playpen and seeing you walk away. And so my question would be, can you crate train your puppy first? Can you teach them how to go to a safe, smaller place that's maybe covered in a dark room with maybe the radio playing or music or TV or something like that?
I agree with all of this.
I know you did. And can you accomplish that first? Because a lot of puppies are just too overstimulated and they can't handle that ever. But anyway, go ahead.
And then they go to the playpen. Make a balance.
Two trainers very much on the same page can have a few different opinions.
I think everything is balanced.
Yeah.
So if you have a dog in the crate, yes, we both agree on that because we both teach that. Strongly teach crate practice. But then when they come out of the crate, you give a window of free time. If I have a dog that's 6 months or younger, I don't usually give 4 to 6 months. I'll give 30 minutes to an hour free time, but I structure that free time. I'm doing walk and play for 10, 15 minutes. I'll do training for 15 minutes. And then I'll maybe end the last 30 minutes of them in the playpen, or I'll do a back tie, a tether. That's kind of Bethany's one. She actually taught me more of that one. Or some kind of area that's blocked off. They're confined to it. As long as they're not peeing and chewing your couch, then you're good to give it a larger area. But that's your balance. You got to give them mental stimulation, physical stimulation, and then playpen or tether or area that's controlled. But basically, you got to be in that area with them. You got to watch them. Supervised separation isn't about leaving the room and expecting to be perfect. They're not there yet. You got to build that up. You got to build that understanding.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay, first dog ever, we are getting a mini Goldendoodle. Wrong choice?
No, it's just we did this video a while back. Well, Ricky put it together.
You guys can find it too.
You can find it. Go find it. No. It's just this little clip, and it talks about the doodle world and retrievers, and I think it was retriever based.
Just know what you're getting into.
We met doodles as well, where the first 2 years, everybody assumes that these dogs are just magical, great family dogs. But they're not. They need training and focus and be taught how to be calm. When you just play a lot with a doodle puppy and hold him a lot, you're going to get a potentially wild, nervy, driven dog. The first 2 years of owning any puppy, no matter the breed, you're doing an assessment. I understand you might not have had 5 doodles to compare them to, but if there's a lot of drive and a lot of eagerness to learn and eat food, they're going to be more mouthy, more nippy, need less physical affection and love. You can work on handling, of course, but they're not going to be calm and lovey all day. So your puppy's going to have a personality. You want to adapt to that. And please just don't think that this dog is going to naturally be a calm family dog, because that's the big misconception with these retrievers and doodles, is that they settle into this label that they've been given, and it's far from the truth. They are driven dogs and sometimes high energy dogs.
Yeah.
And the cute but psycho Goldendoodle is our student Oakley.
Oakley.
That sounds about right.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Take care.